Hi teacher and classmates, I am going to talk about the video before and after. I am going to analyze the video that we did in the first activity. In this case, I would like to start describing what is teaching a listening activity. Teaching a listening activity requires careful planning. As we know, we must understand what is the purpose of the activity. We need to know what is the sub-skill, the skill, or the micro-skill that we want to develop in our students. Also, we need to know that H.D. Brown created the 6 principles of teaching and listening. I am going to mention these 6 principles. They are: include a focus on listening in an integrated skill course. Use techniques that are intrinsically motivating. Use authentic languages and context. Carefully consider the form of listening responses. Encourage the development of speaking strategies. Include bottom-up and top-down listening techniques. First, I'm going to talk about the stages. The first stage is the pre-listening activity. In this stage, we need to activate the schemata and the prior knowledge of the student. H. Brown also stated that the prior knowledge is organized in abstract, generalized mental representations of our experience to help understand new experiences. In this stage, we must include activities top-down for the students to understand the general idea and the topic that we are going to be discussing during the class, and bottom-up activities where we are going to be giving them the tools and the vocabulary that they will check during the activity. When we are going to be teaching the vocabulary, we must use nonverbal signals for them to understand the vocabulary. Also, we need to compensate or help them compensate the lack of information that the student have. We have to take also into account the audio. This has to be suitable for the students. It has to be correct for the level, the type of English, the intonation, the stress, the phonetical features, and the types of hesitations. The activities must have a cognitive skill approach. As Valletta stated, she described the 5 levels. They are mechanical skills, the knowledge of language, transfer, communication, and criticism. Also, Aitken and Weir stated other sub-skills and taxonomies. The next stage is the while listening. Once the students are ready, they should be exposed to the listening, identifying the sub-skill that they are going to be developing, for example, listening for gist, for specific information, or for detail. Then we have to move to the micro-skill. This is very important because this is going to be focused on the specific activity and the specific development of the student. Douglas Brown created a list of 17 micro-skills. Also, Richards created a list of conversational and academic skills which are more detailed. We can take advantage of these micro-skills too. Depending on the micro-skill, we have to use different types of exercises. We have to select the correct material for the students. We should be attentive to the students' performance in order to scaffold them whenever is necessary, and be very careful with the proximal development zone, as we have to adequate the activities for the aim of the class. The role of the teacher has to be different in all the stages in a listening activity. It has to be a facilitator, a monitor, and we also have to motivate the students. And we have to create an environment that lowers the affective filter so we can get the best of all the activities. The last stage is the post-listening. In this stage, the students are required to express their own ideas, maybe do a role play, and they have to give the opinion of the topic. We have to pay close attention to this stage, as this is we are going to be assessing the listening activity and the listening process. Whenever it's necessary, we have to go back and start again. The process to ensure that the learning process is correct. We must reflect on action and inaction and adapt the activities if it's necessary to fulfill the aim. As a conclusion, I am going to describe what I did find in my video. Analyzing my video, I see that I mentioned the three stages. I identify when I describe the activities that I found the micro skills, some of the micro skills, the intonation, the stress, and activities bottom up and top down. And the material that was used was suitable for the student's level. Here I have the example of the material. This is created for the student's level. However, I learned that my classes were not complete, as I was not paying totally attention and applying the principles of teaching and the theory. In my planning, I was missing to take into account the purpose of the activity, and I was only making my students to learn the vocabulary, pronounce it, and try to read and integrating only the reading and the listening skills. This activity is very enlightening for me because it helped me to understand how I have to adapt my activities, to change my practices, and to use the practice and the theory in order to create better classes. So I am really glad that I had the opportunity to watch my video and to find that I have opportunity areas that I can work on, and I am going to be working on them. So thank you very much. I hope this is complete for you and it's clear. Thank you very much.